big damage. The end game for most people that play Albion Online. But to defeat the enemy, one must stay on that grind. Sun Tzu, probably. And the grind? The grind is hard, man. You need so much fame to level up your weapons and armor, and you could spend months leveling up your equipment if you don't know what you're doing. But that's why I'm making this video. I'm going to divide this in two sections. I will explain the theory of how to achieve these levels of damage, showing you the most efficient way to level up your equipment. And for the second half, I'm going to give you the best fame farms in the entire game. Everything you need in one video. Hi everybody, I'm Scrap, and I want to start by saying that you can play whatever you want, however you want. That's the point of the game anyway. But I'm going to give you the information you need to make the decisions along the way. So let's get right into it. Let's start from the beginning. How do we reach a higher damage per second? When you want to do big damage, you're looking to have the highest amount of item power possible. That number reflects how powerful that weapon is on your hands. If your item power goes up, all the weapon stats and abilities will scale up with that item power. So how do you get more item power? Well, let's see. Every item has a base item power. Each tier adds 100 IP. Every enchantment adds 100 IP. Quality adds 20 item power, and finally from tier 5 onwards you get a mastery modifier in your items that goes higher with the tier. You will get that extra amount of item power based on the level of your weapon, and all of this can be checked by just leaving the mouse on top of the item power number on your weapon. And on top of all that, the weapon will gain more item power with each level you gain playing with that weapon. Specifically, you will gain 2 IP per level. But something really interesting about this is that the weapons make each other stronger. For each level you gain, you will give item power to the other weapons on the same group. If I level up one axe, all axes grow a little bit stronger. How much stronger exactly? The basic pieces of equipment, and by that I mean always the first 3 of each group, will give you 0.2 IP per level, and the artifact items will give you 0.1 IP per level. And that's my first advice for you. Always try to level up the first 3 weapons of the category you want to play, because they quite literally give you double item power to the other weapons. My second advice is that you get at least one full set to level 100. When you reach level 100, a portion of the fame you gain gets converted into combat fame credits, that you can use later as a currency to level up your equipment. When people look for fame farms, they usually want them for 2 things. Either they want to go with their low-level equipment and level it up the old-fashioned way so no fame gets wasted, or they want to go with a full level 100 set so everything gets converted to fame credits, and then spend it however they want in whatever weapons they want. So it's in your best interest to level up a build to level 100 as fast as you can. That way you can use that build for whatever type of content you want and get passive fame credits. Oh, and one last thing before getting into the fame farms. I don't know at what stage of progression you are right now, but if you didn't know, the fame you get for anything you do will be affected by the risk level and the tier of the zone. There's a bonus to fame and loot depending on the risk level, so it kinda goes without saying that black zones are the most rewarding, but also the most dangerous. So when you're out there farming and you see somebody else, don't panic, but be ready for anything. And about the tier of the map, that determines the level of the enemies. Higher tier enemies have more health and more damage, which escalates very quickly. And because they are more difficult, they give you even more fame. Okay, now with all the basics out of the way, it's time for the best fame farms in Albion Online, at the time of recording this video. To be more specific, I'm going to go over all the ways you can get combat fame, and I'll give you a little review of each one. Open world farming. I'm gonna start with the best of the best, the one and only open world farming, a strategy that has reigned supreme for years and keeps being the best way to farm fame as a solo player or even with friends. The way this works is really easy. Every map has these open world enemies. They spawn randomly each day, and some maps can have more enemies than others. But the thing is that they give you a ton of fame, like way too much. It's a good reward for the added risk of being exposed out in the open, and of course the best rewards are in high tier black zones. But hold up, these tier 8 enemies are crazy strong. They can one-shot you, and they are ready to fuck you up at a moment's notice. So you go there only when you think you are ready to take on them by yourself. Also, you can bring a friend to make it easier. The fame gets split between the two of you, but since they give a lot of fame, it's still worth it. Killing mobs is a fairly straightforward loop, but there are more things you can do in the open world to gain even more fame, like clearing camps. You kill the mobs inside this area, you fill up this bar, and then you get to open a chest, which usually contains even more fame. If you see these carts with boxes in them, use them. You will have to get off your mount, and you have to transport these boxes to the destination. These boxes give you a good chunk of fame for every time you do it. Be careful though, because you might get ganked in the process. The same goes for open world chests. Apart from the loot, they can have fame books inside, but you may have to fight for the chest first. This bozo has been following me for a minute now. If he's alone, I can kill him. Ah, come on. Avalon and roads. This one is a little bit tricky. Works the same way as open world farming, but the mobs give you more fame at lower levels, which sounds really good in theory. But the risk is higher inside the roads than in the open world, and that's because the roads have very good loot. They are random, but many of them have rare and legendary chests, and also you can find tier 8 resources here. So people that go into the roads tend to go with high tier equipment. Inside the roads, your fame per hour is higher, but your risk is also higher. If you think you can take it, or if you just wanna go check how things play out, you can go give the Avalon and roads a try for fame farming. Oh, this guy's gonna get it. Check this out, I'm gonna hit him with a combo. Ahora. No! No, 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 no! No, 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 no! Ooh. The Mist. The Mist is a content that was introduced during my time in cryostasis away from Albion, and now is one of my favorite things in the game. When you enter a mist, you go into a random one, with only a handful of players inside, all of them by their own or with a friend. It's full of resources, so it's great for gatherers. It has emphasis on PvP content, but I found that most people are pretty chill in here.
No, kill me.
Chill, go ahead, I'll leave. You need it more.
Thanks, man.
Unless you go into the Nightfall Abbey, then they will try to kill you. That zone is for PvP after all. But how about fame? Just like in the open world, you have enemies everywhere. You also have camps that you can clear and open chests. These enemies give a good chunk of fame. It's not as much as open world farming, but it's actually not that bad. You can do some fame farm while you gather resources here. What's good though, it's this. These are wisps, and if you free them, they give you fame and reputation with Brazilian, the last city in the mists. And for how easy it is to free them, it's absolutely worth it. And there are many of them inside the mist. Keep in mind, freeing them is not a fame farming method as such. If you try to level up your weapon just by doing this, you will die of old age. But it's a good thing to do if you're looking to get as much fame as possible. Hey you! Tired of slow leveling up? Are those farming methods not enough? Well, oh boy, do we have the product for you! The Satchel of Insight! Multiply your fame earnings by just activating the ability on your bag, and you will gain unbelievable amounts of fame. For the low price of all your fucking money, you can be a pro, just like me. Disclaimer, the Satchel of Insight takes money and turns it in fame. The company is not responsible for sudden bankruptcy, all purchases are final. Arena. This is a very simple one, but as amazing as it sounds, most people don't play this for some reason. Arena is a 5v5 King of the Hill type of game mode, where as a team, you need to capture these crystals and kill the enemy team. Each round lasts like a minute and you have to capture all 3 before the time runs out. You will lose points based on how many crystals you didn't capture or by each teammate killed. The first team to hit 0 points loses. Very straightforward. You don't lose anything on death, so you can go nuts with the highest, most expensive build you have without any worry. So why is it on the list? This game mode gives you 3 special rewards each day. In each one you receive silver, but most importantly, Tomes of Insight. And even after those 3 games, they still drop you more Tomes of Insight, even if they are just these tier 1 or tier 2 tomes. But in a day of playing arenas with my friends, I made a lot of these books. Also, if you play Crystal Arena, which is kind of the competitive side of this game mode, they will give you chests full of silver and fame each time you rank up. So it's a fun side content that you can play in between of your usual fame farming activities. It's a worthy addition to include in this video. Alright, you all ready? 3, 2, 1. Kamehameha! Ah, shit. Faction Wars. Faction Wars is one of the best contents I've seen in any MMO ever. The fact that you can just flag up for your city and follow complete strangers into a war zone, it's simply amazing. And you receive faction points for almost everything you do while being part of the faction. Capture outposts, knock down or kill enemies depending on the zone you're playing. Even gathering or killing open world mobs gives you faction points, which is amazing because you can use those faction points to buy hearts for heart transport between cities. You can buy crests to craft capes, buy mounts that you can grow on your island if you have one, and the most important thing for this video, you can buy the faction warfare chest. And this chest is really useful. It's kind of expensive, but it gives you good fame and silver. So if you're going to be playing in the Royal Continent and you know what you're doing, always flag up for the faction wars. That way, everything you do gives you points you can spend for fame. Also, by gaining faction points, you fill up this bar. You can unlock and claim this chest if you have premium. I don't know if you have it, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but I'm just gonna leave that there. It gives you good fame and silver just like the other chests. The Conquerors Challenge. Okay, so this is a weird one. First, understand this. Since you can't do faction wars in black zones because black zones are in an entire different continent, the game had to give you something that works like faction points that isn't faction points. And the solution was might and favor. These two are very related to the guild content and the guild season. Might is experience that fills up this bar, which grants you a big fat tier 8 Conquerors chest each week, and also rewards you at the end of the season with fame boost that lasts 60 days. But you need to have premium to be able to claim those rewards. Favor, on the other hand, is the currency you get by doing the following things: PvE in Black Zones and Roads of Avalon, opening treasures, killing siphoning mages, killing crystal spiders, playing hellgates, winning corrupted dungeons, capturing power cores and capturing energy crystals. And you get this currency without premium. You don't need premium for this. So if you really think about it, you are already going into the Black Zones to do some open world farming, because it is the best fame farm of them all. So you are going to be passively earning this favor, and before you know it, boom, you have thousands of those points that you can spend with this NPC, and this is amazing because you can buy tier 8 Tomes of Insight. This gives you 200k fame instantly to your equipped gear, and also you can buy the chest, which gives you a good amount of silver, fame, and some random loot. Some people think buying the chest is better, some people think buying the Tomes of Insight is better, but you can do whatever you want. I'm not your mother. The journal. This is the last one I want to mention in this video, and, in my personal opinion, I think it's one of the best fame farming methods in the entire game, because of one simple reason. You don't need to farm anything. You see, a couple of months ago they added this journal. It gives you rewards for doing literally anything. The journal has thousands of entries with one reward each. So by just playing the game, you will be getting Tomes of Insight without having to do anything else. I've been stacking all my Tomes of Insight for when I want to level up something quickly. I wish I could show you how many I had when I came back to Albion, because I had played a lot in the past. And when I came back, the journal auto-completed hundreds of entries instantly, giving me all of those rewards just like that. So if you want to make fame or even money, the journal is something that you should be paying attention to. Okay, I have run out of good fame farms. So let's talk about the bad fame farms. In reality, there's only one bad fame farm in the game, and it's due to some changes to the game over the past few updates, and that is dungeons. One of the first things that new players get immediately into is dungeons. We all know dungeons, but there's a problem with them. Over the last year and a half, SBI has been quietly nerfing the solo content in the game. It's far more profitable to run group dungeons with your friends or your guild. The devs have been trying to force people into playing together instead of playing alone. But MMOs are often played by lonely people. So these changes make no damn sense. They clearly don't know their fanbase. Fame obtained in tier 8 solo dungeons is nothing compared to other fame farms. The only good thing about this is that you are safe inside the dungeon. And some of you might say, but actually, what about the loot? There's no loot.
There's nothing.
They nerfed solo content into the ground, and they buffed group dungeon chest. Look at this Avalonian chest I found in a solo dungeon. Nothing! Nothing! So don't run solo dungeons for fame farming. It's not worth it. Group dungeons, on the other hand, are really good. They give a sizable amount of fame, and the loot is way better. There is simply no comparison. I was going to add the group dungeon to the list, but I figured that if you already had friends to play with, you would not be watching this video right now. So, in conclusion, in terms of fame per hour, open world farming beats everything else, even group dungeons. But if you have friends, play with them. The game rewards you more by playing in a group. The fame is very good, and I remember a couple of times when my friends and I opened an epic chest and got like 5 million in total. That was like 1 million each. But that is pure RNG. It's random, plain old luck. And with that, we have finished. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I hope this video helped you in some way or another. I know this was a lot of information to take in, but if you didn't get something, you can always run back the video, give me more viewer retention so the algorithm promotes my videos more. I would really appreciate if you can leave a like and subscribe. That helps small channels a lot, and I wanna keep making more videos for you. So yeah, there you go. Good luck to everybody watching. My name is Scrapped, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.